Hi guys, my name is Chris Ord and welcome. This is a brand new segment on my YouTube channel where we talk to some of the Northeast's top creatives. So today I'm with blogger Laura from What Laura Loves, and we're going to just ask her a few questions about blogging, do a little bit of a challenge before we go and do a photo shoot as well. So Laura, what do you want to achieve with the blog posts that you write?
Every time that I write a post and I hit publish, I want to make sure that I'm giving the best representation of myself in terms of my own honest opinion and how I approach life. And I hope to inspire people to be the best versions of themselves possible. So it doesn't matter what your size or your shape or your skin colour or your hair colour or texture or whatever, you can always make the absolute best of yourself. I think that's where your confidence comes from. And if you feel great, you tend to carry yourself differently, and I really think that you can achieve a lot more success when you feel better from the inside out. I like to try to inspire people to not care what other people think, and it's all about how you feel about yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of your outfit, as long as you feel great in it, that's what really matters. My life really began when I stopped caring about what other people thought about me, and it's a much happier place than I've ever lived in before.
I love that. I'm a big believer in that too.
Woohoo!
Excellent. So Laura, what got you started in blogging?
So basically I started nearly 7 years ago, and it was after a lot of friends and family members would ask me how I would do a particular makeup look or where I bought a certain product from or things that I would recommend. And I've been reading blogs and watching YouTube videos for about 12 months beforehand, and I was really inspired by the other girls that were doing so well on there, so I thought I would give it a go myself. And I started off with beauty, and I was plus size, so I didn't think really that people wanted to see the outfits that I was wearing, and really in hindsight that was silly because the vast majority of the UK are above a size 14, but I think it was from being bullied at school that I didn't think people would want to know what I was wearing or they would be interested in that. I thought that it would just be the makeup and skincare that would sort of get people to find me. But when I started doing some fashion and people really loved it, I carried on doing that.
So what sort of advice would you give to anyone starting out in blogging?
I would definitely say if you're starting out on blogging that your photography needs to be good. When I look back at my photographs from years ago, they were horrendous, and by no means am I a professional photographer now. I've kind of learnt some tips and tricks that do work for me and how to sort of position products and make them look pretty. I think when you're having photographs taken of yourself, there are different angles and things that will work better for you, and I always think that natural lighting is best. It seems really silly given that a blog is the written word, but a lot of people will look at the images, so you need to make sure that those are great first. And then when you're looking at your content, you need to make sure that you're really being honest about the products that you're reviewing, because I think the line has become very blurred as time's gone on between honest bloggers and bloggers that are in it for the freebies, and that's an awful thing to admit, but there's a lot of people out there doing it.
Very true, very true. So Laura, what's your favourite thing about being a blogger?
I really love the impact that you can make to someone else's life, and it can only be something that's small or it can be something that's large, but I'll get women who haven't worn a dress for the last 15 years and they'll email me and say that I've inspired them to wear a dress, and that's something that I hold very dear to me because I think it's changing somebody's perception of themselves and it's giving them the confidence to try something new.
And what's your least favourite thing?
My least favourite thing is the hate and the jealousy. So I'm quite lucky in that I don't get a lot of hate online. And if I do, I try to turn it back on itself and to show other people that this person is incorrect in what they're saying or that it needn't be said. The one thing that really upsets me, I genuinely don't care what somebody else thinks of me and what they think of how I look or how I dress. But it really does upset me when people will leave negative comments on my Instagram pictures, for example, because it doesn't affect me, but it could affect somebody who's looking at those images that feels really insecure and maybe wants to wear a printed trouser or wants to wear a dress, but they're frightened, and those people's opinions about how I look in that item may put them off, and I really don't like that.
So Laura, if you're going to describe yourself in 5 words, what would they be?
The first word that I would use to describe myself is honest, because I'm one of those people that will take a very truthful approach to things. So if you want to know my honest opinion, then ask me, and if you want to know, or if you want me to say what I think that you want to hear, just don't bother, because I won't give you that answer. I think it's really important in blogging because you are that third-party validation and that credibility that you say exactly what you think about a product, and there's ways and means that you can say things without being too negative, but at the end of the day, when somebody's hard-earned money is on the line as to whether they're going to buy something or not, then I think it's really important that you tell the truth all the time. The second word that I would use to describe myself is humble, because I'm just a normal northeast girl, the girl next door, exactly the same as everyone else. I do tend to find that there's a lot of this delusions of grandeur within influencers online and bloggers and celebrities and TV stars and everything like that. And it's not as approachable, I find. You're just a normal person, the same as everyone else, and I would never want anyone to look to me and think that I was any different to them. The things that I buy for myself, I like to save up for, and I can't afford just to go out and splash the cash and buy anything that I want at any time. So I would never want to give off that opinion from the things that I'm given to review. Next, I would say that I'm very supportive. I'm a big believer in girl power and girls supporting other girls, and obviously supporting men as well. But there's a lot of girls like bashing each other and knocking other people down, and I think that the only way to really progress in life is to work together and to share best practice and to collaborate. The next word that I would use to describe myself is late, because I am a terrible timekeeper. I'm one of those people where I hate drama and I hate any kind of fuss, but I just seem to attract it, and that often makes me late, and it makes me turn up to things way beyond the time that I should have been. But I'm always very apologetic, and it's definitely something I need to work on, and my Apple calendar is getting hammered with the reminders. At least I'm honest about it though.
Yeah, right, definitely.
The last word that I would use to describe myself is a hard worker. Does that class as 2 words or 1?
I'll take the 1. Yeah.
Are you sure? Right, okay, good.
Hyphen.
Yeah, let's hyphenate it. Yeah, so I'm a hard worker. I think that I give 110% to absolutely everything, and I am constantly working, but I love what I do. I chose to continue blogging and to do it full time because I felt as though I couldn't continue working in an employed environment anymore, and I feel as though when you're self-employed you've got to hustle 24/7, but at the same time, if a charity comes to me and they want me to help them, whether that's with social media or to work with them, or if another blogger or another creative wants me to work alongside them, then I'll always find time to help.
So I'm going to challenge Laura now to give me her insight on a few celebrity outfit fails. So Laura, outfit 1, the backside.
So this girl's obviously, you know, she's got a very pert derriere and she's got fabulous legs, and there's nothing wrong with showing your legs off, but having a dress that does reveal your bottom through net, to me it's not very demure and it's not very classy. And I don't know really whether this outfit was intended to be like that, or whether there's been a gust of wind or it's just been caught, but it does look a little bit like a disaster. You know, you're drunk on a night out and you pull your underwear up and your dress gets caught in the back. So I think that she would look great in a dress of a similar length, that's knee length, but obviously just covering the tush. And she looks like she's got red hair, so a khaki colour would look awesome.
Oh, outfit 2, which looks like Cousin It's been through a tie-dye.
I think I'm all for an attention-grabbing outfit, but it needs to grab attention for all of the right reasons. Think about that amazing green dress that JLo wore to an awards ceremony years ago. This, however, is more like Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. So if she were on stage in a musical, great, but this one isn't for me. And she's got amazing bone structure, gorgeous skin, and beautiful colouring, so she could pull off so many outfits, but unfortunately, not this one.
So outfit 3, you've heard of denim on denim. This is check on check, blue on blue.
It's certainly eye-catching. Whether it's for the right reasons or not, I'm not too sure, and it does tend to clash a little bit with that red carpet. I think that this guy dresses really smart and he looks very dapper, but I wouldn't go for the check and I wouldn't go for the blue. I think just a nice dark slate grey or black suit would look incredible.
And outfit 4. We all did it as kids. We rolled out the cassette or the tape and ended up with loads of black tape. Not many of us made a dress out of it though.
We definitely didn't. I think the sort of effect that the cassette tape gives, that gunmetal take on black, would look really beautiful on this lady, but the actual cassette tape shape and fabric just looks horrendous. And there's far too much side boob and under boob and boob. to me it just doesn't look very classy, and it just doesn't look nice at all. She's got an incredible figure, and there's so many amazing outfits that would look great on her, and I'm all for a bit of side boob or a bit of under boob if you follow Kylie Jenner, but yeah, not this one.
So speaking of fashion disasters, have you ever had a fashion disaster?
I think I regularly wear outfits when I look back and I think, oh, you shouldn't have worn that. But there was the one disaster I can think of was when I wore this beautiful Aztec print maxi dress, but it was a very, very thin fabric. There was no lining to it whatsoever. And I am shaped like a diamond. So I'm a lot smaller at the top, and then I go really wide out, and then my legs and my bum are smaller. And I sat down in this dress and it ripped all the way from the seam, all the way down from sort of my bottom up to my shoulders, and then it was just held together by the elastic, and it was in the middle of a restaurant in Turkey, which was slightly embarrassing. And it was an Indian restaurant, so I just kind of tucked the napkin down the side, and I just sort of went with it and hoped for the best. But yeah, it was definitely very embarrassing.
So guys, thanks for watching. That's the end of the interview with Laura. We're now going to go and do some photographs, but I have put a link down below to all of Laura's social media channels, to her blog, her YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that sort of stuff. So make sure you go on, give her some love, follow, like, all that jazz. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.